Welcome everybody, and in this video we'll discuss about how to answer a case question. So whether you are doing CMA Inter Law, whether you are writing CA Inter Law or CA Foundation or even any university graduation exam, you are going to face law as business laws or corporate laws. In that, case questions are common. How to answer, we are going to discuss. Doubts are there obviously, because sometimes you know the provisions, sometimes you don't know the provisions, sometimes you are unsure about the provision. In all that different situations, how will you face? That's what we are going to discuss in this video. So first, take the case where you know the answer but you are unsure how to write it. So first thing, most of you feel that time is not sufficient for writing the law paper. The answer is time is sufficient and writing doesn't take much time. What takes time is the recollection, getting the thoughts in the right direction. So that's why I am framing 5-step model for you to write a case question. So let's go with the step 1. First step, you have to identify the chapter. When you carefully read the question, most of the times in the question itself they will tell the chapter. Okay, this question as per Indian Contract Act or as per Negotiable Instruments Act, what is your opinion? So they will ask you with the chapter name. So first is identify the chapter. In order to quickly shift to writing the answer, you generally don't read the question carefully. You skim through the question. Don't do such thing. Read each and every word with care. That's the key to success. Okay. So first is identify the chapter. Then once you are sure that this is the chapter, then what are the relevant provisions? Maybe some section is applicable to that situation, or maybe similar case law is there. Like in Indian Contract Act, you would have seen Balfour versus Balfour case law. In Companies Act, Royal British Bank versus Turquand. Maybe you would have found so many other case laws. So when you read that case laws or even examples, in your exams, case laws are exactly the replica of the same. So what is the relevant case law? What is the relevant provision, section you have to identify? Now, during your reading of question, you have to first generalize it by identifying the chapter and then come down to that specific provision, relevant provision or the case law. This is the step 1 you are supposed to do, right? Don't jump onto the answer. First do this. Then come to the step 2. Step 2, now you are sure that these are the provisions relating to this case question. Now what will you do? You have to mentally recollect. Revise in your mind what that provisions were. What are the exact terminologies used in the law? That you have to recollect. Because even when a painter paints something, he'll not take the brush and start painting. He'll first imagine that picture in his mind and then he starts painting. A sculptor, when he tries to design that sculpture, he will actually first create in his mind. And that's what you have to do it in step 2. Recollecting the answer what you are going to write. The provision what you are going to write. Okay. Now come to step 3. Step 3 is actually writing it. Now why step 3? The provision you have to write, I'll tell you. Because examiner want to test the knowledge with which you are going to answer or give the judgment. So you have to showcase that knowledge in the name of provision, right? If it is based on a case law, you can refer the name of the case law, right? So this is how the step 3 is. You have to write the provision. Suppose you know the provision well, you are able to write the words properly, but you don't exactly remember the section. Then don't guesswork. If you quote a wrong section, your entire answer will be going wrong. So never misquote a section. Never misquote a case law. If you are 100% sure that this is the case law name, this is the section number, then write it, no problem. If not, you just use generic terms as per the provisions of Indian Contract Act, according to the provisions of Indian Contract Act, considering the relevant provisions of the Indian Contract Act. Such generic words you use and write the provision paragraph. This is step 3. Now we started writing with this. Once the provision is written, then you have to write the facts also, and that's step 4. Now you will not copy the question as it is, right? Many students do. It's wrong, because in the exam you will not get marks to write the question again. You have to write the facts in such a manner where you are directing the discussion towards the judgment. So facts should be written in short, directing it towards judgment. Now step 4 done. Step 5, you have to write the judgment. Some people call it as conclusion, nothing wrong. Some people use the word analysis and judgment. It's okay. As long as you are answering the case question, whatever words use doesn't matter. Now, in the 5th step, you first go to the question, see what is exactly asked. At the end of the question, most of the times they ask, is this contention valid? Is this contract valid? Can X sue and recover the money? Like that, they ask the question. So you have to write the answer. Yes, X can recover the money considering the above provisions and facts. So 3rd paragraph is key. You have to connect that provision with facts and give your judgment. So this is how you are supposed to write a case question if you know the provision with crystal clear thought. But suppose you don't know the provision then, and you try to write the provision which you don't know. Obviously first impression goes wrong. So that's why if you don't know the provision, then start with the judgment. Sometimes students tell, sir, I know this is right or wrong, it is valid or not valid, but I don't know the exact legal terms to describe. Okay, then start with the judgment and then try to write the provision in the way you feel. At least you will get marks for judgment, correct? Suppose you are not sure about the provision and then you are trying to write the provision. First impression goes wrong, he will directly give 0 if he is frustrated. So better start with the judgment if you are not sure about the provision. Suppose the question comes for 5-6 marks. Follow these 3 steps: provision, facts and judgment. Right? If suppose the same question comes for 2 marks, then directly write the judgment, connecting it with the provision. You can ignore the facts, correct? Or mix the 3 and write in short, correct? This is how you are actually supposed to write the case question considering different scenarios. If you have any further question, do comment below. I will reply to you directly in the comments. Now, we'll recap everything what I said till now. Now, what was the step 1? Mental process. What it is? Right? Recollecting the chapter from which this question was asked, the relevant provision or the section number or the case law. Step 2, you have to recollect the exact terminology which you are going to write. Step 3, you will write the provision first if you are sure. Step 4, you are actually going to write the facts, directing it towards judgment. It should be short, not the copy of the question. Step 5, you are going to give the judgment or conclusion considering the question which is asked. the 1-2 line question which is asked at the end of the case law. Mostly it is asked at the end, correct? Now, you followed all this step. We also summed up that suppose we don't know the provision, we'll start with the judgment, connecting it with rough provision, whatever we can write. But when we answer the question paper, if you are very sure about some questions, put it at the start, and whatever you are unsure, that you put it at the end. This is very common, which commonly everybody follows. So hope I answered everything relating to writing a case question in the exam. Follow this 5-step model, and yes, don't just directly go in the exam and follow this. While you are practicing, your teacher would have given question bank to you, right? You read the question bank of case laws as if you are reading direct questions. How will you become perfect? Sir, you said the steps, but still I am not getting that confidence. Confidence comes with practice. Suppose you directly go to swimming competition, you will not win. You have to practice swimming before the competition. Same is with writing a case law also. So what you are supposed to do? Read the questions what in your question bank, then follow this 5-step model to answer. Better if you can put it on paper, then read the answer given by teacher and compare where you missed, right? This way you build on and practice and develop that capacity to write the case question in the best possible way. So we'll meet in the next video. Till then, take care. But yes, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share and comment below how did you feel about this, and any questions obviously comment below. Okay, bye everybody.